Hello everyone, my name is Tina, welcome back to my channel. So I've been living in England for 4 years and a half now, and long story short, I came here just for a change of experience. I never really planned to stay this long. I just thought I'll stay for like half a year, maybe 1 year max, and I'll just go back home, which obviously that never happened. So I just wanted to talk with you guys today about a few things which I find shocking, I've never seen before, I don't understand maybe, or I just can't get used to. Obviously they're not really major things.
None of these reasons are reasons to not come here to enjoy England.
They're just a few things which I just find weird. And I also know that quite a few Brits find it weird, so it's not just me. Please don't get it wrong. Any country you will go, you will find things that are really weird. Either you were obviously raised in a different way and it's really hard to get used to different things. So it's just a few things to open your mind to when you'll come here. I will also be making another video, obviously, with things that I actually love in England.
Reasons why I decided to stay in England, reasons that keep me here in England, and why I don't want to go back home. So obviously there are way more positive things that I love and that I enjoy here.
So one thing that I want to mention is that most of the things that I'll be talking about today are related to the area that I live in. So I do not know how it's in south of England, center of England. I live in the Lake District in Cumbria, and I have been to a few other cities, but just like for a day or two. I don't really know much about the rest of England. So let's not make this video too long, let's just get into them, okay? Sorry if I keep looking away, it's just I have my notes here. I just don't want to jump over anything. So first thing that I want to talk about is the taps on the sink. Why in this age do you still have so many houses with different tap for the cold water and different tap for the hot water? I do not understand.
I do remember vaguely when I was small that we had it and a few people still had those taps, but then I'm pretty sure everyone changed them at least like 20 years ago.
But here in England you still have them everywhere. Either you have like a completely different tap of cold water and one of hot water, or if you see one single tap inside the pipe, it's still split in two. So you have on one half coming cold water and on the other half of the pipe coming hot water. They do not mix. Especially in the winter, it's like ice cold. And then the other one is coming boiling hot. This is my bathroom sink. So it's always on the left side you will have the hot water, and on the right side you will have the cold water. This, from what I know, is to help like blind people so they won't get burned. My lovely tub, again on the left side you have the hot water and on the right side the cold water. On the tub I don't really mind it so much. Usually what I do is I turn on the hot water, and then after a while I turn on the cold water and I just check to see if it's okay, and then if I need to switch one of them off if it's either too hot or too cold. I think the worst one is on the sink, because especially in the morning when you're waking up and you just want to like wash your face. What I do, you just take some cold water from here and just go over here, mix it, and then just splash your face with that. So that's what I do. I just put my hand here and then here, put some soap maybe or whatever I need, wash my hand, and then again rinse. Basically I keep doing like that so I don't get too cold or too hot, which can get quite annoying. This is my kitchen sink. Even though it's one single tap, the pipe actually splits in two. Let's see if you can actually see. So that's the cold, and then on the left side there it goes, that's the hot water. I have no idea why, but it's still way better than in the bathroom. So even if I have a central heating, I still have two different pipes, and the central heating even gets confused. So for example, if I want it to be a little bit colder, so just like slightly warm water, I don't want it to be hot, then the central heating gets confused and cuts off the hot water because it thinks, oh, you just want cold water, so yeah, why not? Basically that's what the plumber explained to me. In this flat, previous flat before, we had the same problem. I find that really annoying. Every flat that I've lived until now was the same. My friends, my colleagues, most of them have the same. If it's like your own property, obviously you can change the whole pipes and everything if you want, but if you're renting a home, Everywhere I've been until now and everyone I've talked to, they have the same problem, even at work. So I know why they made the pipes like that in the first place, but why do we still have them in this year and age? I do not understand. Right, so the second thing I want to talk to you guys about is the lights in the bathroom. So again, in a lot of houses you still have those really old cords which you have to pull on. So I found that really fascinating first time that I came here. It just felt like I used to watch Downton Abbey and it was just like so cool to see like those cords. I was like, oh, it would be so cool if I had a cord like to ring a bell as well or something in the house, just ding ding service. That would be really funny. So yeah, I really found that really fascinating at first. First time when I saw it, I thought that, oh my god, it's just because it was an old historical building. So it was like from the 800s, they kept that like feature on it. It was really cool. So obviously they made those cords so you won't get electrocuted. But the funny thing is, this house, for example, that I live in now, is quite a new house. It's not an historical building, but then I have the same cord in the bathroom, also on top of my mirror, over the sink where I have that small light. I will show you. So my light plug is over here. Ta-da! This is how I switch on my light, with this little plug here. Quite noisy, especially in the night if it's really quiet, as you can hear. And then I also have one here, which is for the light above my mirror. So again, a little switch. And the funny thing is that I have this plug here, which, as you can see, is really tiny. I do have this little thing here for my toothbrush, which I can charge, for Chris's electric shaver, which is really awesome. So yeah, I have this, but then I have a cord, you know, just for safety reasons. So I don't understand why they still have the cord. I don't know, maybe it's just like traditional and people just love to keep them. I have no idea. If you know, please just let me know. It doesn't really bother me. Okay, so the third thing I want to talk about, and please don't chop my head off, but of course it's the weather. The reason I want to include the weather, even though everyone's sick and tired of hearing, yeah, I know in England it rains. But what a lot of people don't know is how much it rains in the Lake District. So from what I know, in the Lake District you have the most rain in all England. One thing which I didn't know before coming here, I thought that it just rains everywhere, it's kind of the same, but no. When you have a day of sunshine, everybody's getting out and just saying, oh my god, can you imagine what a glorious day?
Such a glorious day!
Even if it's just like one cloud cracked and the sun is coming out, it's glorious! Because you do have to glorify that ray of sunshine, because I don't know, if you glorify it enough, maybe it will stay longer. I don't know. If you have a whole day of sunshine, oh my god, doesn't matter if it's just like 2 degrees outside plus, everyone's in like t-shirts and like freaking flip-flops. They're going to the shop in like their shorts just because it's sunny outside, even though you can see the top of the cars that they're like sparkling from the ice. But it's sunny outside, so I'm going to the supermarket to buy something in my shorts and flip-flops or slippers, why not? Sure. I find it really funny, and a lot of Brits also actually find it funny. My friends, whenever they see someone in their shorts or flip-flops, they're just looking at them and they're just like making a face like, wow, come on, are you serious? So, weather in the Lake District can be really bad. Either it rains or it sprays, so it's literally, the rain is so small, it's like someone spraying, but you can actually see it, and if it's windy you can see it like in waves. So you can't even use an umbrella when it's like spraying out, so I call it spraying, because it's so light, like the drops are so tiny that just gets lifted in the air, and doesn't matter if you use an umbrella or not, you just get wet. Especially in the winter, the days are really short, and when it's so cloudy and it's rainy outside, it's so dark that you can't even tell. Like for example, if I have my curtains closed, I can't even tell if it's day or night outside. So when I wake up in the morning, I have to look at my watch to see what time is it. So the weather here can be really bad. So it can rain for weeks or be gloomy for weeks. Maybe we won't see the sun out for like a whole month.
That's quite normal. Last year we actually had a really great year where we had quite a long summer. We had like over a month of summer, which doesn't really happen. Usually have like a maximum of 2 weeks throughout the whole summer. But yeah, last year we had like over a month of really hot and sunny days, like above 25 degrees, which was...
So when I first came here, I worked in hospitality, so a lot of the things that I'm talking today about is not just from my point of view, it's from the guests, for example, that were coming over on their holidays here. Most of the guests, obviously, they were British, and everyone was coming here because the Lake District is gorgeous. Obviously, one of the reasons why it's so beautiful is because of the rain. But a lot of people do not expect to come here for a whole week and for the rain to not stop the whole time they're here. So then they just come here with their hopes up and like just want to see this amazing place, which a lot of people also call it like England's paradise.
Even when I'm on my phone, like the electric company or something, when they asked me where I lived, they were like, oh my god, you live in the corner of the heaven.
It's a really beautiful place, but then a lot of people get disappointed when they come here if it rains a lot. And when it heavily rains, the roads get flooded. And we also had a lot of problems when the people couldn't leave, so they had to either extend their holidays or they had to leave earlier before the roads were getting flooded, because then you couldn't get out. So it can get, especially in the winter, it can get sometimes really bad. So on number 4, I have the roads. Even though the roads are really good, especially compared to Romania, from which I come from, the roads here are really good, but they are extremely narrow. And in the Lake District you have all of these like beautiful walls or like fences made out of rocks, out of stone. They're really gorgeous, keeping the history and all of that. It's what makes, one of the things that makes this place really outstanding. But you also have a lot of tight spots where you cannot squeeze 2 cars, so it's like you stop and you have to let the other one pass through, and it's like that much until you can smash into each other or just scratch each other. Like for example, I had a colleague which just looked a little bit behind him to see if he can go on a road, but he didn't completely stop the car and he scratched his car, and he had his car in the garage for a couple of weeks. It's really easy to scratch your car, it's really easy to have an accident on those small roads. So yeah, you have those type of problems. And also, like most of the roads, like even the streets where I lived or live now, they're quite narrow, and you have cars parked on the left and on the right, so the only thing you have is like the middle line on the road. So obviously only one car can pass, so if you see at the end of the street another car coming, either you have to make way or he has to make way. And one more thing is that between like towns or villages, like when you go outside of a town or a city, a lot of places you do not have any lights. Either you have 0 lights, like none at all, it's just completely dark, the only thing you have is the lights from your car, which obviously you can blind each other out, or you have like these tiny little lights, I don't know how you call them, in the middle of the road or like on the side road, so you can tell where the end of the road is, but that's about it. So I find that really scary. It's like good that you're making economy for lights and stuff like that, but I still think you should have at least every now and then a light somewhere so you can see, yeah. So I find that really scary. I also worked in a place where I had to walk for like 10 minutes on a road which was completely like pitched black, and you had trees on the left and on the side, so I felt like I was walking in the middle of the forest in the middle of the night. And especially in the winter, even if I was coming home at like, let's say 6 o'clock in the afternoon, it was pitch black outside and I couldn't see anything. And if a car stopped next to me, I was, yeah, literally crapping my pants. So if my boyfriend couldn't come and pick me up at the time that I finished, I always had to either get a taxi, find a way home, or basically just run. Just to get out of that, from that road as fast as I can Okay, so the fifth thing that I want to talk about is air conditioning. Non-existent. Doesn't really bother me that much, but again, I worked in the hospitality. Most complaints that we had was about the air conditioning, either in the restaurant, even though outside maybe it wasn't that warm. So it's England, you don't really expect like hot summers or stuff like that, but if sometimes, you know, when you just feel like you don't have any air, like you can't breathe, the air is just like not moving, inside of a restaurant can be like inside of a sauna. So you can open as many windows as you want, the air is just not flowing. We always had people complaining that they didn't have air, or like in their rooms they wanted a fan, and we never had enough fans. You cannot, let's say if you have like 30 rooms in a hotel, you cannot have behind the reception 30 fans to give to everyone. So a lot of times we had complaints like we could give some fans here and there. Usually we were keeping them for the rooms which we knew were like the worst ones. So we were putting like in those some fans, but then we only had like a couple for the rest of the rooms. So people always complained, or like in the night they were opening the windows, but if you were especially next to the road, if you had a hotel next to the road, when the cars were passing by, the people couldn't sleep because it was loud. So everyone was always complaining that there's no air conditioners. So this is again not something just like coming from me or like from my foreigner friends or something. This is mostly like 80% of the comments we had from British people. So they were coming from London and they were really shocked that we don't have any air conditioners. So I'm guessing in other areas, in other parts of the country you have them, but here it's quite rare. It's like they're going extinct. Another thing that I want to talk about is the prices here. So after London is the most expensive in England, obviously. The prices here, a lot of people say that you can compare them to the center of London. Again, I do not know if that's right, but I have been to other cities like Liverpool, Leeds, Preston, a bit outside of this area, and yeah, the prices were quite low compared to here. It doesn't matter if it was in a restaurant or like in a supermarket. It's just everything is really cheap. I have a cousin in Leeds, which he had a flat in the center of Leeds, like a river view, really gorgeous. If you're planning on coming here and staying for a few months, you can find, for example, rooms to rent, but even the rooms are over £400, like £450 if you want to stay in a room by yourself, and you only get the room maybe with a bathroom, and then you have like a shared kitchen or like a shared bathroom, depending on the size of the room, depending on the condition, yeah. So if you want a room, all bills are included, but you have like 450, 500, 550 pounds for one freaking room. The smallest place that I lived in till now was a small cottage, which I had like a bedroom upstairs and a bathroom, and then downstairs I had a tiny living room, which was also a dining room, and a very small kitchen, which you could fit like 1 or 2 people, squashed. And I was paying for that £500 a month, plus bills and taxes. It has to be at least 2 people, or you have to earn quite a lot of money to be able to stay here. And it's not just because of the rent, it's because also of the other expenses. If you want me to talk more about rents and like about places and show you like where I live, like, or like where my friends live and how much they're paying, let me know down in the comments and I'll be sure to make another video. Even if I go let's say half an hour drive from here, the prices are starting to get low. If you want to buy anything from like the smaller towns where you have like the lakes and all these tourist attractions, obviously as in any other countries in tourist attractions, the prices are really big. Again, I can make another video about prices, and I can like compare maybe from one city to another and just show you like differences and like between the same supermarket. So for example, between Asda and Asda, so Asda here and Asda, let's say in Leeds, I can show you like a list of prices and show you how much you will spend more per month living here. So that's again something you need to take into calculation if you're coming here. Obviously it's a tourist attraction and it's a really gorgeous place, but if you live here it can be a little difficult. So a lot of people have like 2 jobs, or like have another part-time job or 2 part-time jobs too, if they want to also save some money on the side. or more people live in a house. So I live with my boyfriend and I think we're doing quite okay. If in the future we do want to save more money, it would be wise of us to move to a different part of the country. The seventh thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the most annoying of all is the spam phone calls. I've had spam phone calls in Romania as well, but sometimes, maybe every few days, maybe once or twice a month, but here you have them like 10-20 times a day, and I'm not exaggerating. The only way you can stop the spam phone calls is if you buy, let's say, a new SIM. You always top it up by buying a voucher from the supermarket. So if you want to top up your phone from home, then you have to put a few details online, like your name and the phone number, and then you start to receive calls. The first phone calls that I received, which I was really puzzled by, were like, "Hello, we've heard you've been in a car accident and we can refund you this and that and help you this and that." So many phone calls I got with "I've heard you've been in a car accident. I do not have a driver license, I've never drove, so I know I wasn't in any car accident." It's like, "Are you sure?" "Yeah, I'm pretty sure." Okay, also the debt collectors. "I do not have any debt." Or like, "3 years ago I've heard you've been in a car accident. I just moved here." Or "Now I live over 4 years and I've never had a car accident," and they're still calling me like, "Oh, last year I've heard you've been in a car accident." "No, I haven't. Leave me alone." And you have all sorts of people calling you and spammers trying to sell you stuff, trying to make you to switch to different companies. It's like, if I'm not happy with my, let's say, I don't know, internet company, I can look for another company. Or I'm telling them, "I just got this contract for the next 2 years." "Oh, but no." Stop calling so many phone numbers, and I am blocking every single one of them. And I'm getting called from a different one, and if I look at them, they are almost exactly the same. Maybe just 1 or 2 numbers are different, so they're coming from the same place. The easiest part is like when I can see that it's from London or Manchester or like a different town. Just shows on my phone that they're calling from Preston, so I don't know anyone in Preston, so I'm not answering. But the hardest part is when they call from a mobile phone and I'm not answering, because I don't know, maybe someone is calling me, like someone important, I should answer, but maybe it's just a spam, and then I don't want to end up arguing with that person. And if you call, and if you do block that number, then 5 other numbers will call you straight away. So I'm not answering, and then I have to go on Google and research this number, and then I see like 5,000 people have done research on this number and it's a spam number, don't answer. So then I'm just blocking it. And I'm blocking a lot of numbers a day. I don't know, is there a limit on how many I can block? I have no idea. Why are there so many people calling? It's very annoying. A lot of times I'm considering to change my number, but then every single time I want to top up, for example, what if I'm not in the country? In January, I've been out of the country for 2 weeks, and my phone credit expired after like 1 week, so obviously I had to go online to top up my phone, because a voucher is only available like a day or 2. So I can't really buy a voucher and like take it with me. So I go online and then bam, spam phone calls. So again, I know that it annoys the shit out of everyone, not just me. Let me know if you're watching from another country. Do you have the same problem? I'm curious which other countries have the same problems. But yeah, I'm from Romania, my boyfriend's from Poland, and I've never really had this problem before. So yeah, I get really ticked off by it. So the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about, it's a little bit more sensitive. I'm sure a lot of people do not know, especially a lot of English folks do not know. And again, I'm not talking this just from my experience. Again, I'm talking about all the guests and clients that we had here every single day and complaining about this. It's the cleanliness, especially on the carpets. So as a lot of you know, in England you have a lot of places where you have like nailed on carpet, like restaurants, hotels and stuff like that. If it's a bigger restaurant, for example, you have hundreds of people every day walking on those carpets, and even though you hoover them every day, even though you try to clean them every day, they do not get washed. So you have people, you have companies coming and steaming your carpets, and there are places obviously which like steam them maybe, I don't know, every few months or at least once a year. But you have also places like where I've worked or friends of mine worked, which they do not steam their carpets in many years. So obviously I will never give any names of these places, but I do know a lot of places that have not been steamed, or like if we did call in a company to steam them, they were saying that this cannot be cleaned, you have to remove it and put a new carpet. So I find that really hard to swallow, because we always had like families with children, and obviously like parents, like let's say the babies are starting to crawl and they're just putting them on the floor and the babies were crawling, and they have no idea how messy those carpets are. If you put a child on the street, it's way cleaner than that freaking carpet's ever been. And it's not just people walking on those carpets, you spill foods on them, you spill drinks like beers, you spill soups, we spilled all the time, you drop stuff on the floor, yeah, so they're really dirty and they do not get clean, they only get hoovered. If you do not want to, if you cannot afford, maybe your business not doing as great, if you cannot afford to always call in companies to steam your carpet, then why not just replace it with a wooden floor, which you can wash every day or like at least once a week. And even with apartments, it's really hard to find. Again, in the Lake District, I do not know how it's outside. I'm sure that you have like marvelous brand new buildings with like wooden floors and all that great stuff. But again, it's really hard to find an apartment with wooden floors. Even the apartment which I live in now, it's all with a carpet. You cannot steam every single week or carpet, or even every month. You can do as best as you can in cleaning, hoovering, brushing them. I have like this powder which you like spray all over the floor, and then it's like killing like the bacteria on the floor, and then you hoover them. But I still do not trust them that my carpet is clean. So I also shampoo my carpet. So yeah, as you can tell, this is like my carpet on top of the carpet. So this carpet I have throughout the whole house. So yeah, this is a brand new carpet. Hello there. This flat was actually renovated just before we moved in. We actually couldn't move in for like another month until they finish, so it's a brand new carpet, which I'm really happy about. But still, I would have loved to be able to wash my floor every week, at least once a week. But yeah, still, new carpet, yay! Yeah, so do you agree with carpets, especially in restaurants? And especially if you do not have money to clean them, to have a carpet, it's like you want it to look all nice and cozy, but then you have dogs, especially like places where they accept like dogs, but then you do not spend any money in time in cleaning them. So I just find that really horrible. I know I will get a lot of comments like, if you don't like it, get out. But then I also know a lot of you folks had no idea. You're expecting to come here and expecting to pay so much money, because every single place here is so expensive. Even if it's like a simple 2-3 star hotel, they're really freaking expensive, and you pay like 100 or 200 pounds per night, and then I think you would accept like the place to be cleaned, and it's not always the case. Again, obviously you have exceptions, but quite a large amount of places here have the same issue. So if it's like a place in like I don't know, like a viewpoint, it has like a spectacular view, obviously it's bringing in more money, obviously they have more stuff, obviously they get cleaned more thoroughly. But if it's like a simple hotel next to the road, yeah, chances are quite big that they don't get cleaned. So let me know if you approve of that, if you agree with that, if it doesn't bother you, Maybe it just makes your kids' immune system stronger. I don't know. Just let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think?
And if you did not know that these things actually happen, let me know if you are shocked by all of these things. If you want me to, I can even show you proof and I can even film them.
So the things that bother basically me the most are the carpets and the annoying spam calls, which I'm sure everyone would love to change or to stop them, but you just cannot, so you just move on. It's like, yeah. But the rest of the things are just like minor, simple things, also can be quite funny or quite weird, or maybe just things that you just find them like, whoa, what's up with that? Not really things that would make me want to live here or that would specifically stop anyone from coming here. So thank you again so much for watching. There's a lot of things that people ask me about, so I just thought I'll just make a video about it. So please don't take it too hard. Doesn't really mean that much. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that bell button, so the moment I post my new video you will get a notification. Like or comment if you enjoy watching this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you had the same problems, or if any of the things that I said in the video helped you with anything. If you want me to talk about anything else, as I was saying, like prices, maybe, I don't know, transportation, especially about this area of England. I live in the Lake District, and thank you for watching my video. So until next time, bye!